Paul Anthony Hardtide, do you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit, but I can hear you.
Listen, man, look, I got some things to say.
I'm sure you do. This is a different kind of episode of our podcast, Hanging Out with Paul and Justin.
Yeah, I liked how you called your podcast Hanging Out. This is just hanging out, right? So, it kind of reflects, the real deal, what kind of happens to peeps when they're out and about in the real world. Just hanging out, So shit happens when you're hanging out,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Shit happens.
All right. Well, this is the way I'm going to do this officially. It makes sense.
It makes sense, Paul. Look at man.
All right, for the context.
Podcast here, sir. This is the real deal. If we're really hanging out, this is what happens when you're hanging out.
All right. So for full context to the audience, I'm trying to write fiction right now.
Fiction? What kind of fiction you writing?
Superhero fantasy stuff.
Superhero fantasy. Okay, so we'll talk about both, but just for context, I'm driving home right now from 3 hours away from where I live with no brakes, but I can wheel and deal it because I know my car really well, but I got no brakes right now.
All right, yeah.
Because I'm an AutoZoner. I work at the holy matrimony of AutoZone. So it's not like but my brakes are leaking badly. But anyway, continue with what you're doing.
No, that's what I would. And then our friend Justin here is very insistent, which I guess now makes sense. He's on a 3-hour drive to do something. So
I was supposed to be on vacation, Paul. I was supposed to be on vacation. Fishing in a river, this is not supposed to happen to me. But this is, bad shit happens, bro. That was 2 times. I had that one time. Jeff saved me. The boy Jeff. We'll save that for the episode. With the blown out tire. Man, shit happens. Man. I don't know, man. That's above my league to fix. I'm going to have to take it to a shop. I'll probably miss. I don't know. Maybe I can wheel and deal with my local shop and tell them, listen, I need it. But I don't know, man. I think I'm going to miss my fishing vacation, man, and I'm not happy about it. I'm a little upset. Well, bad shit happens.
All right. Well, yeah, so that's the context. That's why we're doing this. And I'll just give the floor to Justin, about... Because you wanted to do this, yesterday or a few days ago, to talk about your job.
Well, yesterday, a few days ago, you got me in, primo mood, because, I was, already out fishing.
Right.
Well, it was gravy.
What happened with Jeff? Let's talk about Jeff first, and then this. So you did really want to talk about that, so let's, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so, yes, okay. So let me just tell you, you're right. I got a junk-ass car. You could make the argument from your position, Paul, where, Obama had the cash for clunkers. If we're going to go into a political end of it, whatever. My truck is a clunker. I'm not going to lie about it.
That's later. That might be even...
No politics?
Not yet. Let's just...
No politics?
Not yet.
Just tell the story. Okay. I got a junk car, and I love this truck. It's a GMC Yukon. It's a 2003 GMC Yukon Denali. It was top of the line loaded when it came out. I love this truck, right? But it's old as fuck. And I've driven the wheels off of it. The previous owner driven the wheels off of it. I'm not even lying. I could send a picture to verify. I literally got 409,000 miles on it. 409,000 miles on this motherfucker. Excuse my language, I know I'm not supposed to be swearing on the podcast, but I am.
It's funny. This is episode... You can curse on the podcast. Now, if you're a good Catholic boy, I'm aware a lot of Catholics don't curse for moral reasons.
I know I'm a aspiring good cat.
Okay.
Like I am a good Catholic
Okay.
boy, but I make
Okay.
mistakes. That's what
So
I'll
keep
say.
going. Keep going. You have your car.
Okay, so it's an old truck. It's an old truck. It's got a lot of miles. I love it because I've been everywhere with it, and like I'm pretty handy with the wrench. 99.9% of the time I can fix it, but I'm pretty well. I'm good. I can know when something's bad with it. Well, since we're talking about Jeff, like again, like consider to the listeners who's listening, I have 409,000 miles on this truck. So anything that can go wrong with this truck can go wrong at any moment, at any given time. And it's kind of cool. I like it that way. It adds spice to my life, right?
Right.
Okay, that said, like I planned this whole trip. I'm going to be gone for 9 days. I'm going to go up north, and I'm taking the truck, right? Well, on my way up there, one of my tires went bad. It blew out on the road, and like I was trying to drop my spare, doing my thing, and like for the folks that work on cars, I'm sure you've heard of the. I got an '03 GMC Yukon, so I'm sure you've heard of the 2000s safety latch on your spare that gets stuck up there. It got stuck. It was a whole mess. You got to beat your brains out on it with a you know spray the shit out of it with PB blaster and beat your brains out on it with a screwdriver and a sludge. Whatever. I was doing that on the side of the road, trying to get myself out of it, and some old gentleman pulled up, asking me if I need help. And this dude, after talking to him, his name was Jeff, but he was an old fart. But you know what? Like all I'll say about the whole situation is he had all the right tools at all the right time and made my life a breeze, changing my tire and saved my life at that position because like I was screwed. Like I was beating my brains out on this thing. It wasn't coming. It wasn't coming. I was debating whether or not like what am I gonna do here? I'm like 2.5 hours on where I live. I mean, whatever. And the story is he stopped.
Oh boy.
Like I know me and Paul are doing a podcast and like talking about life, like my truck had other problems. It's got other problems right now that I'm dealing with. But that's the thing with a 409,000 mile truck, which, right? Me and Paul are doing this podcast, right? We got the Paul's argument because there are some things that can go wrong. Remember what I said? Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Everything did go wrong,
Okay.
and I'm cooked. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. But for that moment in time, Paul, I mean, not Paul, Jeff was the man. He was the man of the hour. He's the man of the year.
Well, the thing you wanted to talk about, I guess, in a broader scope, was the kindness of strangers thing. And you sent the book in. What's that book about?
Yeah, it's dumb luck and the kindness of strangers. In that moment, like, okay, you got to separate out. Something separate happened to me afterwards. But in that moment, yeah, the dumb luck and kindness of strangers, because I'd have been really screwed. More screwed than I am now, actually. Like, I was going up north to, like, pitch my tent and stay the night. If not for him, it would have been, like, dark out. I would have been trying to get, my truck towed, all that. I didn't have to do that. I was able to stay the night up where I was going to camp, fish for a day. And then a secondary issue happened with my vehicle because it's a piece, it's a rust bucket. But that's the dumb luck and kindness of strangers. You know, who's to say that that man Jeff just happened upon me on the side of the road under my truck, beating the snot out of it, looking like a wreck, and he stopped with everything that I needed. That's the grace of the Lord. Am I wrong, Paul? You're Catholic.
Yeah. Well, okay. We're gonna get. We actually can get. All right. We can because you brought it up. When we could really piece this out, I guess, in a future episode, in the next 25 minutes.
No, we can do more than 25 minutes.
Well, we'll see how far we get, because after 25 minutes, I really am just going to cut it and be like, all right, next time, I'm really going to be.
All right, whatever you want to do. You're the boss. Okay, go ahead.
Well, my thing with, and I've been Googling it, I know the criticism. I won't make this political now. I just wanted you to get the story out.
Well, I mean, we can get into the yeah. I mean, we can look. My thing to you is we can get into the political if you want, whatever you want to do.
Because
However you want to have the
I
debate.
do take the leftist position that everything is political. It just is.
No, I don't agree with you. Not everything's political.
Which ironically, so that's the conservative position, at least in the American tradition. That's a conservative point of view. That's a liberal point of view, or even a left-wing point of view, is the idea of everything's political, and that's its own mini debate. My argument.
Yeah, but see, that's where you get into the rub. Like, I'll just say it off the rip, man. That's where you get into the rub, because you know what? If you want to make everything political, you're going to make everything subject to the discretion of the state, right?
Right.
So, like, your earlier argument was, like, where's the government service to help you with your truck?
That is.
Yes, that's a gun. That's a gun, baby. That's a gun. I don't know. I still kind of like being able to, wrench on my own truck.
Right, but not everyone does.
I kind of like myself.
Not everyone does.
I know.
I don't want that.
But that's the point. Is like okay, like I will say this. I would have been, let's say, 60% okay without Jeff. The other 40%, I needed Jeff for. But that 60%, I kind of like being in control of that 60%.
I definitely don't like that at all. I just don't.
I know you don't like that at all. I know because that's the agency thing, right?
Yeah, I disagree with.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
I think.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think. I think that's a valid disagreement to have. I don't think it's a right or wrong thing. I'm just not. And we didn't get into this actually the last episode. I kind of hinted at it, but.
Well, I mean, we can get into it right now. If you want to get into it, let's get into it.
Well, we'll touch on it just by flatly stating that's something where I'm just not an American on. I'm not culturally American that way. Yeah, I'm just not.
I don't like when you do that. I don't like when you make it like it's an American thing.
Well, because and this is the thing conservatives do in America is they do like to shut down the debate in this very paternalistic.
Yeah, but I'm not. Okay, I'm not. Listen. I'll make you a promise.
Okay.
I'm not going to shut down the debate, but I'll tell you what. I'm not coming at it from an American perspective. I'm coming at it from an Italian perspective.
Maybe.
How about that?
That's an interesting thing. Huh? That could be interesting to talk about.
So we made our business, right? So like there, that's our thing, right? So I kind of say like, my truck, 90% of it is my thing. Like, I maintain this beast up to 409,000 miles, and yeah, it's got a lot of issues, man. And sometimes I get myself into situations. It was funny because you know what, like my folks at AutoZone, remember I tell you I moonlighted at AutoZone. They were all telling me like when I was planning for this trip, they're like, "You really gonna drive that truck all the way up north?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I trust this thing."
What?
And I did, but to their point, like some shit happened, dude, on both ends of it. Like it's an old truck. To their point, they had a valid argument, right? Because look at me right now. Like even though I survived that one with Jeff, I had this other issue. Now, like I'm gonna have to call it quits here for a day or two because like this brake line issue, like it's above my league, so I'm gonna have to go back home and take it to a shop. Like that's just the nature of the situation. It sucks. I'm mad. I'm upset. Right. Like I just blew like half my vacation. Not cool, bro. Like I was really looking forward to this, but it was what it is. It's an old truck. I made the gamble.
No,
they were right.
Why not just go to a place that's like close to you?
What's that?
Why not just go to a fishing place close to you?
I can. I still got the time off. Like I got the time off work. I can do all that. Like that's cool. I'm gonna.
Okay, good.
But still, I'm like upset. I'm not gonna get to make the pilgrimage, so to speak, out to those other places. You know.
Okay, how much? Okay, let's say you took your friend's advice. What you have to buy a new car then, right?
I mean, there's other options. You could buy a new car. You could rent a car. There's all kinds of things.
Rent a
Like,
car would be really good. Why not just do that? But I lose my. I'm. But that's me.
so here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's some people at my work that call me the Dave Ramsey boomer, right? They're like, why don't you just buy a new car? You can afford it. And you're right, I can't afford it.
Oh.
But I love this truck. Number one, and number two, like I don't want to have a new car note, right? That's the car note.
Mm-hmm.
We can have that debate too. But it's a debate, and it's
Yeah.
whatever. Like
I mean,
this is gonna cost.
that's where I do side with Dave Ramsey, and that is the conservative of me, and just the very, I mean, what that word means is conservative. It's like, don't do dangerous shit.
No, I did some dangerous shit driving up there, but that's the risk I was taking. My point is like I can fix this brake line.
Okay.
It's gonna at the end of the day, money wise, it's gonna cost me like
Well,
$240
that's not
maybe.
bad. That's
But I'm still gonna sacrifice. Like when I start screwing with the shop that's gonna fix it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, we got a lot of cars. I don't know if we can get to it right away." So I may not be able to make it up to Wawa Sum to my outing.
right.
That's the FOMO where it comes in, and I may miss it. I don't know. I'm gonna be upset if I miss it a little bit, but I gotta sit down, and gather my thoughts because a lot of things, like I said we're gonna have this space, but like a lot of things happen. So I need to write something for my Substack because this was a very interesting weekend.
Yeah, always
A
write
lot
it
of
out.
things
Yeah,
happen.
it's makes it easy to discuss too if you've written it out and you've already thought it through. So,
Yeah, it is what it is.
all right.
It's almost like I don't know how to describe it, Paul. I got cooked. I tried my bestest, and the Lord said no.
Well, the Lord also. Well, that's where I got a more conservative person to say. Well, the Lord said rent a car. The
The Lord said what?
Lord said go rent a car.
You think I should rent the car?
You should. Well, you still can if you want to.
I know, but then I'm gonna have to explain to my wife like why I'm coming home in the middle of this
Right.
trip. She was one of the partners in that Justin, you should just buy a new truck group. By the way, so I'm gonna lose that argument with my wife if I go rent a car.
And you don't want to buy a
So it's a
car.
difficult situation
Right.
for a touch grass totalitarian to be in.
Well,
It's a touchy
oh, I can tell
situation.
you why. Is because I know exactly why it is. Oh, I know exactly.
Oh, you know exactly
I
why?
know exactly why it is. Because
Tell me why, Paul. Tell me
you
why. This is
fucking
why I love you.
you people
You fucking people.
you want your cake and you want to eat it too, all the time, every
Yes,
day.
sir. God damn it. And I'm going to figure out a way to fucking. I will.
And that's why.
The center will hold, sir.
Yeah, that's what.
The center will hold.
Right, and it's like, well, that's liberal shit.
No, it
Yes,
ain't.
it
It's
is.
it ain't liberal
A
shit.
conservative is like, don't try anything ever. That's conservative.
I know, and that's what's bad about conservatism, though. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I can see your
You got to
point.
spruce it up a little
Right.
bit.
I
Spruce it up around the edges.
that I agree with. I don't.
You can have some fun.
Right.
You're not a lot. Conservatism is. It can't be. You can never have no fun ever.
I
You know what I mean?
it's
Or we're gonna lose. It's over. It's conservatism. Why do you want to do that? You know?
that's a great question. Why do conservatives? It is a fear response. A lot of the time, it
Huh?
is a fear response. A lot of the time, it's a fear. It's a scarcity mindset. I mean, the way I explain it to people is liberalism is a yes and conservatism is a no.
See, and that's why conservatism sucks.
Well,
Not necessarily because I don't believe it. I'm very conservative, but I found a way to blend. That's what
yeah,
fusionism
because
is.
fucking
It's to
Reagan is,
blend.
and it's like, how's it working out for everyone?
I mean, I got a fucking blown out brake line, and I'm not getting to go fishing this weekend, so not so hot right now,
Yeah, now, well,
Chico.
now,
But
but no, no,
hey,
but
most of the time it works. Uh,
extrapolate that to a country of 340 million people.
it's a fucking numbers game, Paul. What do you want me to say? Like, yeah, bad shit
Now I
happens. Bad shit is
right,
always going to happen.
but
Do you think I predicted this brake line blowing on me after my tire blew on me? I thought my tire was the one bad thing, right? Like, you can think on one bad thing
right,
happens, right? One bad thing. One, one really bad thing, and that I thought that was the
right,
tire. And then my brake line went, and I'm like, motherfucker.
right,
But you know what? Bad shit happens. It's okay. I'll go home and I'll say, hey, some bad shit happened.
right.
Maybe I'll get lucky because I got a couple guys that are mechanics. One guy I go to, he's like super busy all the time. Another guy I go to, he's not so busy. So maybe he'll get done with it by the time. Because like Thursday is when I really got to be up to Wawa some.
Okay.
So maybe I'll be okay. Maybe I can just hang out at home.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't want a car. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Depends.
my closing because we're almost at 25 minutes. Like, what is you? So, what was your wife going to do with the kids for 9 days?
She's doing her craft show. She's got a craft show on St. Clair Shores
Oh,
this
that's
weekend.
good. That's nice.
And she's building this stuff.
All right.
But no, she's gonna be like, "What are you doing? See, didn't I tell you not to fucking take your truck up there? Your
Yeah.
truck's a piece of shit. You should just buy a new truck." And I'm gonna be like, "Son of a bitch, you're right, but not."
I look. It makes sense. I actually. So that's where I do. I don't know. I do live like that in a way. You do something, if it doesn't work, you go, "Oh well." I would. Let's be honest. I would have maybe done that. Maybe
Maybe then what?
did what you did, which is just drive the truck all the way up anyway and see if it fucks up. It's whatever.
No, I mean it's an
Mm-hmm.
experience.
Cause
But you
I get
know,
because you're trying to kind of. I mean, yeah, you're trying to eat your cake and have it too, but I get it because it's like you want to avoid spending the money on a rent a car or a truck. So I get it.
yes.
Um, yeah, all right. That's a good note to end on. Just we'll catch up, I guess,
It's a
tomorrow.
good note to end on. I'm driving home with no brakes right now, currently.
I gotta write, brother. I gotta. It's and I'm not. It's
You're gonna end it.
yeah.
You're gonna end us
I
on
gotta
this,
end it.
even though you didn't. Even though you didn't
What?
put up our episode 2. You never edited
Yeah, I
it.
gotta because you gotta understand. I'm gonna remember. I'm in a fucking homeless shelter where I don't have access to Wi-Fi, so everything's like I have to leave this place to get Wi-Fi. So, um,
I hurt myself
today I did.
today.
It's the pains. What was it? I hurt myself today to see if I still
Yes,
feel. Yeah. So I. It's just been very frustrating. Uh,
yeah, it is. Life is
but
frustrating.
that part.
You know what's frustrating for
What?
me? I had a blown
All
ass
right.
brake line,
Cool.
and I was supposed to be
So
fishing tonight.
tomorrow I'll be able to edit it together and then upload it, and then I'll.
Maybe tomorrow I'll get my brake line fixed.
Well, that'll be a good. That's a good little cliffhanger. Let's see what happens. Let's see by tomorrow, after this very long commercial break we're about to take, where your brake line is.
I just had to, man.
So, look, I'll be able to text. So I just gotta do. I gotta go do the thing I did go homeless for, which is I chose to go get an arts degree. So, and I always prioritize my writing over hard work. So I'm gonna go do that.
I need to start writing more, man. Paul, you gotta like get me on ready because I could be a pretty good writer, I
Just
think, if I set
obviously,
my down.
yes. You got to do it for 3 hours a day, at least. Or
3 hours.
no, even 25 minutes.
That's almost as much.
Even 25 minutes.
3 hours is as much as I spend on my fishing.
So yeah, just do.
It's gonna be esoteric.
So
If I spend 3 hours writing, it's gonna be esoteric.
right. So do that.
For your criticism,
That's my advice.
do that.
Just write. Yes,
Reflections.
correct.
Just put my Substack up as my own personal diary.
That's what
That's what
I
you're saying.
do with my Twitter. Yeah, absolutely. You know.
I can't believe my brake line blew, Paul. I was like right where I was supposed to go camping. I'm so
No, I know.
butthurt.
I get.
I am really butthurt. I am really butthurt. Like less than I am like letting off for this chat. I'm really defeated.
Yeah, I mean, look,
You know,
I mean, we'll talk. Yeah, I do stuff like that as well. So believe me, I get it. But
Touchgrass totalitarianism suffered a major loss today.
well,
That's all I'll say.
it's you'll power through, and
I know Touchgrass. We'll power through.
so
But God damn it, this was a
I get it.
loss. So all your arguments about how this is heaven and this is wonderful.
I guess
They don't necessarily
a
land.
Christian would say your brake line was meant to break, right?
Sure, it was meant to break. Maybe,
So
but what's it trying to tell me?
maybe you're needed at home or something. I don't know. That's what I usually think when stuff like that happens.
Maybe. We'll see what happens
So,
in the next couple of days.
all right. Again, we can do this tomorrow, even because this is a lot quicker versus like setting aside 2 hours and I have to talk. Especially when I didn't do because I told you I got suspended from work last week. And it's
Yeah,
just
why'd you?
fucking.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Why'd you get suspended from work, Paul?
Oh boy.
Why did you get suspended? What did you do?
Super quickly, I was in an 18 to 21-year-old school, and I asked one of the female students if she was a student, and that was it. And I was cooked. And they fucking, because I guess they took that as flirting, and it's like, well, no, I don't know if this person's a student or not. I think they
Were you trying
are,
to mac
but
on her? What were you saying before you asked that question?
that's what they think. Yeah, that's what they think I was trying to do. It really is like, no, it's kind of like, because I asked another student the same thing, and he was a guy. He's like, are you a student? One of the secretaries looked like a student too. So, but whatever, they take it very seriously. I get it. If a student makes a complaint, which she did, I saw her do it, because she went into an office and like closed the door immediately after I asked her. So, well, whatever. I'll get into that next time because we're at 25 minutes.
Tell the whole story. Yeah.
Tomorrow. That is the story, though. So I'll tell you more tomorrow, but that is basically the story. So, all right.
It's a story. Tell the story, Paul.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you tomorrow. I didn't have to cut you off because I gotta go do my job, my unpaid job that I don't get paid for. So I'm gonna go do that. You're gonna drive home. Huh?
You hear that? Ding, 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 ding.
I do.
You hear that? Ding, 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 ding. Yep, that's the brake line. Telling you.
Well,
like stores like up north.
right.
And like my shit, fuck. Oh my god, this person's running in front of me.
So we're gonna pray for Justin. It's all right. We're gonna pray for Justin, and that's
got no brakes, driving.
And that is kind of fucked up. But I'm gonna go do what I gotta do. You're gonna drive home safely, and we're gonna retouch base tomorrow because we're at 25 minutes and it's time for a commercial break. All right, Justin, say goodbye. Bye, Justin. Bye. And the audio is gonna pick up tomorrow, and it's gonna be right immediate. All right. Oh, Justin's now a listener, and we're gonna say bye, bye, Justin, bye, bye, and we'll pick up tomorrow, and that's that.
Hello?
Uh, hello, where are you?
From the BFE. Freezing.
The what?
I'm in the BFE, Michigan. Mythos, Michigan.
What's the BFE?
Mythos, Michigan. BFE.
I don't know what that is. I suspect my listeners don't either.
I'm on the lake. Well, I'm at a campsite on the lake.
Are you on the water right now?
No, I just got off the water. I'm pitching my tent.
All right. Well, tell the audience. Welcome. We're back.
You're breaking up. Am I losing you?
What happened?
Can you still?
No, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. My phone service might be shoddy. Shotty.
It sounds good to me so far. So where are you now? I mean, how'd you? Because the last we heard from you, you broke something in your car.
I had a whole situation. Several situations.
Okay.
Had a whole situation.
All right. Well, let's pick up on it. What happened? That's where we left off.
Yeah. Well, you heard about the tire situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what happened.
And the brake.
Oh, the brakes. The brakes was the secondary thing. So the tire situation seemed to be okay. So the next morning, I camped out here the night after the tire situation, but the tire situation seemed to be okay. But I went and got my tire fixed and came back to the campsite, which was about a 3-hour drive all around. And literally, as soon as I was pulling back up to the campsite, the brake line blew. So I had to turn.
This is a different brake issue.
Huh? Different brake issue. Yeah, two different brake issues. So one was the tire, one was the brake line. So it's 2 issues.
Okay, this was Monday?
Monday and Tuesday, and part of Wednesday because I was waiting for the brake issue to be fixed.
Okay. Yeah, well, you fixed it, I guess, right?
Yeah, but it, kind of screwed me. Instead of 4 days fishing, I got 2. But I'll get 4 more, hopefully, granted no more issues crop up.
Right. See, all right, so I'll ask this, because this is interesting, because there's 2 things here. One is you truly love the outdoors.
Yeah.
This is because that's foreign to me. Like the most I've been aware of in my circles in my life is people they'll like to hike. Like they'll hike somewhere. You're the first person I've met that actively will enjoy the outdoors.
What are you talking about? You gotta love the outdoors.
No,
I'm Klondike camping,
good.
man. It's like 36 degrees right now.
See, I'd kill myself if I had a gun. I would kill myself.
Why would you do that?
Because I don't like the outdoors. I like inside. I like the inside and the beach. I do my
usually.
That's got to be.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
that's got to be a primal thing.
So usually, I will say this. Usually, this trip is not this cold. We had a delayed. I guess you want to say a delayed spring because of all the flooding. So this is the coldest. Usually, I'll tell you this. Usually, it's like it'll get cold at night, right?
Okay.
Not this cold at night, but it'll usually still get pretty cold at night when I come up here. But it's usually in like the 50s at night, and during the day it's like 60, 70. Now
that is actually quite beautiful, but I guess not.
Now, because of the delayed spring, it's like 50 at the hottest point of the day, and like it gets down into the mid 30s at night. But that's just
This shows, I guess, my knowledge of Michigan. I would just assume it's like that all year long.
No, our summers get hot, man.
Okay, I had no idea.
But it's a short summer, it's like 3 months.
Okay. Ours is too in New York City.
Yeah, it's
actually
similar.
very
It's
frustrating.
very much like New York. It's
All right.
you get
Because that is the one thing I don't like about New York is you don't. It's just not that warm.
yeah.
So,
I
like, if I were to move, I would move to somewhere warm. I'm not going to, but if I did,
So
it'd be
here's my
warm.
thing. I had that. I remember the very first time I ever went to Florida, and maybe it was
Uh huh.
because I will say this: like, there's such a thing. Like, it's a big thing in Michigan, like wintertime depression. They call it winter blues. I get it,
Yes.
because like for me, it's like okay, spring and summer is like all my fishing time, outdoor stuff, and then fall comes, and you get your hunting season, and then you have the holidays, which okay keeps you
Uh huh.
going, see all your family, all that stuff. But that
Right.
period, I would say like right after the new year to like really like nowish is just it's bleak in Michigan. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's there's not a lot going on. It's cold. The days are
Right.
super short. That's another reason why I'm a big fan of the daylight savings time too. And where you live, you should be too, because like a lot of people act like
I am.
that's not a lot of people act like, oh, changing the clock is just a hassle, this and that. Well, yeah, it doesn't necessarily affect all that much the closer you are to the equator, but when you live closer to the poles, like me and you,
Yeah.
that hour's a
Yeah.
lot, like that hour's a lot,
It is.
you know. We would be, especially in the summertime, like because we only get so little of it here,
Mm-hmm.
like I want to maximize my off work time enjoying daylight outside, if you will, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the clock change for me is perfect because during the winter, you get a little bit of light after work, but it's not much. It's like usually like within 45 minutes of you clocking out for the day if you work a standard 9 to 5. But in the
Right.
summertime, you get that extra hour after, and it doesn't get dark till almost 10 o'clock at night here. But you're
Uh huh.
maximizing your off of work time. Whereas if we didn't change the clocks and went to one of the extremes, it would be like in the wintertime, dark when you went to work, dark when you got off, and you'd lose the extra hour of sunlight in the summer. So
Uh huh.
there's no benefit. Make sense?
Interesting. Yeah. What?
I said, does that make
What?
sense?
It does. Yes, it does. So you're setting up your as you're talking to us. How is this even like you're putting up a tent, right?
Yep. I feel my tent's up now, and I just blew up my bed mat. Did you hear that squeaking?
Yes.
That was me blowing up my tent. What's the name?
All right.
I'll put a picture under the thing here.
All right.
That's my.
So this must be really. I'm guessing your father took you like camping and
Well, I
stuff,
was an
right?
Eagle Scout. Yeah, we were big into that.
You were an Eagle Scout?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I did not, but that makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yep, I was an Eagle Scout. I thought we
How
talked
did
about
that work
this.
with the band?
Huh?
No. How did that work with being in a band?
That was what I mean. I'm pretty sure we talked about this. It came up in the group chat because that video. Remember the video I sent in there?
Right.
My band playing that show.
Yes.
That show was for my Eagle project. What I
Okay.
did was adopted a family from the Salvation Army for Christmas, and they gave me a
Okay.
list of like the stuff that they wanted. It was a woman, and she had 3 kids, and one of the kids was like a little older, so he wanted like all this super expensive crap. It was like when
Right.
PS2, I think it was PS2. Yeah, PS2 was coming out, so he wanted the
Uh-huh.
new PS2, all these games. The mom wanted all these work clothes,
Uh-huh.
like a lot of expensive stuff, right? And
Uh-huh.
they were like, you have to come up with something to fundraise and get all this stuff, right? I'm like,
I would have quit right there. I would have fuck no.
So what I did is I'm like, fuck it, I'll play a show. So I went and organized my band and a bunch of other bands and got the school to give me the gym. Charged $5 at the door, and they were all like, didn't like it, but I had enough money to get them everything they wanted on their list, and I could prepay. I prepaid that woman's bills. Like, we raised so much money, I got everything they wanted on the list, and I prepaid that family's, like, her utilities, like electric, water, heat, all that stuff for an entire year. That's how much money we raised off the show.
Yeah, wow. And this is how. What do you mean adopted a family for Christmas?
Like, I went to the Salvation Army, and I told them, I'm like, I'm an Eagle Scout. Do you have anything? And they have, lists of the people that need stuff, right? Requests. So they gave me this family, and they said, okay, here's all these things that they want. It's like a wish list, basically. And I'm sure they were expecting, like, not to get some of it, because it was, like I said, it was a lot. They're like, see what you can do. Mm-hmm. And I did, and I got everything they wanted on that list. I got the kid a PS2. I think it was like $7,000 altogether.
Wow.
So we got everything they wanted and paid the ladies' bills.
That's pretty
That was
impressive.
my Eagle Scout project.
What's an Eagle Scout project?
So I don't know how it is now, but back in BSA, like, to get the rank, like, one of the requirements was, you had to do a project to help your community somehow, and it had to be approved by the BSA board and all this stuff. So it was basically, some people, they went and built, like, a thing for their church, or, put up a playscape at the park or something like that. But
interesting.
They had to do the whole thing. They had to plan it, finance it, do all that.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Makes a lot of sense, though, with your whole thing.
Well,
that's interesting.
My MO, is that what you're saying?
You're whatever. You're liberal, conservative, touch grass.
My tent's up, baby.
Bro. No, that's interesting. No, that's very enlightening. And was your father a big camper, outdoorsy, fisher person?
Yeah, my dad is like a massive fisherman. He influenced me on that. Not so much hunting, though. He never, I don't know, he didn't really get down with that. Like, he'd go with you, but he, and he shot some rabbits sometimes, but he was never like, kind of like me, actually, to be honest. Bird and.
All right.
But it wasn't like his main thing. His main thing was fishing, for sure. Like, all day. Like, that man lives for it. Like, I still go fishing with him today. It's like his hobby.
So, and what did his father do?
Same thing. He was a big outdoors guy.
What did that guy's dad do?
They were hillbillies, man.
That's fast. That's incredibly distinct from what I grew up with. Yeah, that's interesting. Cause yeah, I don't think I'm a camper. I think
I think if you went, you'd have a lot of fun.
I'm sure it'd be probably. If you went with a group of friends, yeah, because it's like a bonding activity. But going alone, yeah, I mean, it's funny. Yeah, you're like pretending to be lost, in a way, which is interesting.
I mean, not really. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm like. I mean, by Thursday I will be in like. I mean, I said this is BFE. I mean, this is being from New York City, this is probably like BFE to you. But this is still pretty like this is an actual campsite, like there's outdoor showers over there, that kind
okay, never mind. Okay.
Thursday though, this is my first time. So like this trip, I'll explain it to you. This trip that I take in the spring, it's with Trout Unlimited, but the actual Trout Unlimited part doesn't start until Thursday. I always like to take the full week off of that trip because it happens right at the prime time of smallmouth spawn, right? Trout Unlimited, like they're very focused, obviously, on trout. Like I love fishing for trout too, but I
Right.
also do like what they call it warm water fishing, where I like to fish for bass and all that other stuff as well. So
Okay.
on my way, because Grayling from where I'm at, and me and Joey have talked about it as well, because he goes up there. It's kind of in the same area. Grayling is about a 4-hour drive north of where I'm at.
Right.
But about halfway up there, about a 2-hour drive, is the tip of the thumb. Like if you stick out your hand and you look at
Yes.
that's Michigan, right? I'm kind of in the thumb area. Like if you look at your hand, where I live is kind of like in
Yeah.
the center of like where your thumb meets your palm, the bottom of it, in the center of the thumb. Right now, where I'm
Right.
at, I'm literally like right at the tip, the very tippy tip of the thumb. Grayling
Yeah.
is like up in the center, upper center of your hand. Like if you were to look at your hand, it's kind of like in between your middle and ring finger towards the
Right.
top of your hand. Okay,
Right.
so what I always do is the first 2 or 3 days of the week that I take off, because I don't got to beat a grayling till Thursday, is I'll come up here to this tip of the
Right.
thumb because there's Eagle Bay and there's a bunch of rivers out here, Pinnabog River, Willow Creek, but they all just like stack up with smallmouth for the spawn in this time, right? And sometimes there's an occasional
Right.
steelhead in there, and I'll spend 2 or 3 days camping here, and like it's cool because like I'm still early because like I said, it's very cold. Like when this warms up, this campground, there'll be people with campers, and there's a little beach over there that's open. But because I'm early, there's nobody here because it's still freezing. I'm like literally like there's maybe one super early bird over here that's got his camper set up, but he's not there yet. He just pulled out of storage to
Right.
set it up. I'm literally like basically the only guy that's actually camping here right now. But I'll camp here and then
Right.
I'll fish all these spots for 2 or 3 days, and then tomorrow, which I'm going to stay the night here now, and then tomorrow I'm going to wake up, and then I'll go the rest of the way to the Wabasum Lodge in Grayling and meet up with Trout Unlimited till Sunday. So
Okay.
when I
See,
get
we actually have a live listener, guys. His name's Alan. You don't know him, Justin. I probably scared the fucking shit out of him, but but he's a good guy. We
okay,
like him. I talk to him a lot, but it's funny too because I was just thinking about H.P. Lovecraft, which he loves,
I love
but for a
HP.
different reason. I'll get into you. What?
I love HP Lovecraft.
He's pretty interesting. I'll tell you that.
Hello,
So that's
Alex.
a thing.
I'm waving at you,
You know, Alan.
Alan.
Alan, not Alex. Don't
Sorry.
insult him like that with our joke. We like Alex too, even if he's a little. Anyway, anyway, anyway. What was I saying? It's just interesting. I can knowing all that. I think he did an interaction. He like waved or something. Anyway, that's Alan. Well, just FYI, Alan, I'm only doing this for 5 more minutes. Just because my phone's also at like 5%, and I'm just trying. I don't have much. I want to go back into my homeless shelter, take a shower, and then lay down and stuff. So, but anyway, uh, what was I saying? It's just interesting. Now I'm talking to Justin. Uh, to piece together your worldview makes perfect sense, along with I guess even Joey's view of the world. Which is always why again I don't really like to get on people's case about like you're wrong. Because if you again Michigan, it sounds like, and I guess the Midwest broadly, it is liberal conservative in its nature, in the way it's built.
hmm
Does that mean like you have the freedom of liberalism where you can kind of go wherever it's just giant.
You have it
Like,
too, though, brother. I'm telling you, upstate New York is
no. I have a. It's this
New York.
like there's
What
a
all? Hey,
reason.
hey, hey! All you, I, what you talk about and the thing, I'll buy it for New York City, but I don't buy it for the rest of New York State. I don't.
Oh yeah, I'm only talking New York City. I don't. I've been upstate. I never liked it. So yeah, no, definitely no. Fuck that. New York City is where it's at. For reasons like it's hard to describe, other than just when I am walking around here, I do feel at home. It's primal in that way. There is no reason other than I fucking live here, you know. Uh, but that aside, yeah, that you in Michigan and again, I guess the Midwest more broadly, um, there is a sense of you could go anywhere. You could. I mean, that's not even. Again, I'm thinking primal. Like you're in the fucking forest, and there's like a lake and stuff.
The lake.
You know, there's a lake, and you could drive for hours and hours and hours to a place. So there's that freedom there, but there's also you're on like old untouched land, you know? So that's the conservative element to it. All that to say, it's you're not someone who's going to be looking to the government for a helping hand, right?
No, we try not to do that. I mean, there's pockets of
Right.
Michigan that does, but no.
Oh, bro, and that's the other thing when you're with, which is really interesting if you think about that. And that's you know what I mean. It's been said with anytime you talk about Civil War, it's like, well, it's going to be rural versus the cities, and it's like I've never seen anyone point out how I don't know. It kind of feels quite new, it's not inevitable that would happen. It just seems like we had this giant frontier, and then we put cities in small parts of it, but the rest of it's still frontier. And it just creates a weird dynamic, you know. Um, which is I don't know, it's just interesting. And again, it makes sense now. It's like because someone like you would see every life problem as like you're on a lake. Like if you need food, go and hunt for it, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Whereas in a city, it's just different. And we're almost at our time because again, I do want. Like my phone's gonna fucking die, and I do have to shower. But in the city, it's like it's interesting. It would be interesting for me. I guess I'll piece it through myself, like why it is different like that, like where it is sort of. Uh, I don't know. It's just different. You know. Um, I mean, I one thing I remember this years ago. Something isn't like an evolution happened with human beings is when we stopped hunting for our food and now we get our food in the supermarket. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like that's a huge change. I think Joe Rogan talked about that. I think
Yeah.
that is yeah. I get you know what that might be hinting at what I'm talking about, where it's like if shit goes bad, I have to go to a supermarket to get food. I can't just go hunt for it, you know?
No, you could. You just
I
have
mean,
to
you
go out of
can
New York
now.
City.
Oh, New York City. I mean, look around you. There's plenty of food. I'm looking at. There's one piece of food walking down the street. There's another on a bike. Talking about cannibalism.
Oh.
That's a fun one. Actually, that's a fun one. Uh,
Well, Michigan's got the
I'll,
legend of the Wendigo when it gets cold.
well, that's a good little teaser we could get into. Maybe next time. Uh should cannibalism be illegal,
Fuck
Justin?
yeah, hell yes.
No. But like, if let's say like someone dies
Okay. See, you're a
of a
Wendigo.
heart attack,
You're a Wendigo.
not the fucking. Let's say you have an uncle named John, and Uncle John dies.
You're a
And
Wendigo.
Uncle
That's the
John's
legend of the Wendigo.
All right, fine. What's the legend of the Wendigo?
Well, the Native Americans in Michigan blamed it on a spirit that overtakes you, but it's supposed to be in the cold of winter. You know, when people were traveling and there's no food around, and then somebody dies. The person who eats them is supposed to be taken over by the spirit of the Wendigo.
You know what? You've seen The Thing, right? From John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like that. That is fascinating. Did you read The Terror yet, or maybe you did, from Dan Simmons?
The Terror. Nope.
From Dan.
That's the ship one,
Shit.
right? I didn't read that one yet.
That's the ship one. Yes. Okay. I just remember. That's an interesting. What's the Dan Simmons one you read? Summers of something.
Summer at Night, and then
Summer at Night was the one.
The Yeti or the Abominable.
Okay. Because I just realized, it's like, wait, that sounds like a Dan Simmons thing. I think that was the one. That was about cannibals and also a monster. But anyway, which is like H.P. Lovecraft. Like, isn't that funny how it connects? Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan's big on the esoteric land horror type thing. It's almost got that Appalachia vibe, but it's not really the Appalachia. It's more of the Northwoods horror stuff. Esoteric.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Plus a vibe with the lakes, because the lakes are almost ocean, so it blends into like the sailing terror, with the Northwoods vibe.
Yeah.
So Michigan's like
that's
its own.
Something to get into maybe next time or tomorrow or whatever, whenever we do this next, is because if you're a screenwriter, I mean, even right now, horror is the only thing that really sells and or gets made. So that's a thing. It's an interesting writing tradition, though it's not mine. Mine's like sci-fi and superheroes and blah blah blah. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Okay, so cannibalism. Like, if Uncle John dies, okay, why is it immoral to eat him if he dies of a heart attack?
What are you talking about?
If you have an uncle and he's like, his name's Uncle John, and Uncle John dies of a heart attack, so his stuff is still together, right? Why is it wrong to eat him?
Because it's defiling the sanctity and dignity of human life, man. The human person.
It's too easy of an answer. Fuck. That's why. Fuck it. Damn it. It's funny how Christian that is, though. That is so distinctly Christian. A culture that doesn't believe in that would not, I think, be skeeved out by that. But maybe they, that does sound Greek and Roman too, though, where they figured out like, hey, it is illogical to eat the human being because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how they figured out a lot of the stuff the Christians did through reason, which is, I guess, Thomas Aquinas' whole point. But anyway, well, we're at our time once again. It's another 30 minutes in the tank. We'll be back whenever. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we might. If you catch me at a good time, we could do the rest of the hour, and then they still got to upload the other stuff. So.
All right, for sure.
Any other closing thoughts, Justin?
Nope.
Bye, Alan. He waved. Bye.
I think I'm about to freeze. That's all I think.
All right, don't freeze, don't die. It would be kind of funny if this is like your last communication is a fucking podcast. It's like, where did Justin go?
No,
I got
my.
And this is his last. This is the last time we ever hear from Justin. This is it, But I hope not. That wouldn't be good.
Nah, my my sleeping bag's good down to -20, so that should be good.
Oh. Alrighty. All right, good. I'll talk to you. Well, I'll definitely text you throughout the night and stuff. but in the group chat.
Sure.
Alrighty, guys, have a good night again. But when you listen to this on the podcast, it'll just pick up right. It'll be seamless. So, but for now, have a good. See you around.
See you.
All right. See you. Bye bye. Hold on. All right. That better?
Can you hear me?
All right, you fucking cannibal. Part 3.
You fucking Oompa Loompa.
All right.
I want the Oompa Loompa, Daddy.
To catch up with people. So this is what we've been kind of building towards. Since I guess our last discussions over the past month is Alan's back. Hello, Alan. Alan's back.
Hello, Alan.
Yeah, so we've been kind of building to what I do think is an interesting breaking point, at least with myself and an American conservatism. It's hard to catch up. Usually what happens with podcasts is me and the co-host don't talk in between, at least not as much. But now it's like we have to play catch up with the audience, which is anyway. So you're truly, oh man! As I was saying,
What is the problem? What is the issue here? What is explain?
I
truly
feel
what?
misled. I feel misled with American conservatism.
Why?
What
is American conservatism?
I thought what I was getting with Trump, and American conservatism more broadly, what convinced me of the project is the idea, essentially, that it's socialism but the right way.
Why do you think half the conservatives don't like Trump?
Well, yeah, so
Trump is a enigma. He's a unique figure. He's non-ideological. Trump is not a... He said it himself. He's not a conservative.
So it's interesting again because I guess I should probably. We talked about this in episode 1, but I'm from New York City. I do believe in collectivism. It's just baked in.
See, that's the dividing line,
but
man.
But in a way that I guess with your upbringing, it's a mismatch.
I just think don't work. There's no such thing as it's the state and you. There's no.
But I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in why you think that.
Why I think what?
That I guess, like, what? I don't know. It's just like, I don't think that. I'm like, yeah, no, we belong together. You're like, well, we're all.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. There's a big difference between believing that you should help your fellow man and then extending that into a political theory that involves the application of a governmental apparatus.
All right, again, so now I'm going to bring
huge, massive gulf divide of that.
So your parents didn't pay for your... Again, so Justin had cancer. Well, we talked about it in episode 1. So you had cancer, and your parents were like... They didn't even bring up paying for it, right?
No. Because they knew I was good. I had a job, I had HSA savings. Like, it was never a thing.
In my cultural milieu...
Well, hold on a second. Let's go back. Hold on. Now, if I was in a situation where I was screwed, where there's just like, say I was a kid still and still lived with them, wasn't working, yes, they absolutely would have paid for it, no doubt about it.
But I don't believe in that kid distinction. I think you're with your family forever. I don't believe in
that. And even though, okay, take it on a flip side. Say I wasn't in a good position at that time when that happened. Say I didn't have a job or didn't have the means to pay for it. Then, yes, I'm absolutely sure they would have. There's no way. I have no doubt in my mind that my parents would have not sold their home to get me the care that I needed. I have no doubt in my mind they would have. But they didn't have to because I had it myself covered. That's the point. It's not that they didn't do it out of some ideological reason. It's just they didn't have to. I had the means to pay for it myself. If I didn't, I'm sure they would have been there.
It's American because if you
What do
tell
you
that
mean? I don't
story,
understand where you're
if you
going with
tell
that.
that
Where
story to a Somalian or someone from Africa or China, or I know there's
yes,
some
because
like
that okay. If you want to, yeah, because
there's some
most of
cultures
those
you,
people don't have the means because those are extraordinarily low income countries. That's why
which is an
that's the.
interesting point. It is but I think there's
And
something to
again,
be made
okay,
into
and
that.
again, back to my point. Whereas if the situations dictated where my family and I were living that way, similar to those cultures, then yes, I'm sure we would have. That's the way it goes. That's the natural order of things because humans don't abandon their families, or at least good people don't. But we're lucky enough to be blessed to live in the quote unquote land of opportunity and took advantage of that, right? So I
So
don't see.
and well, you took
You
advantage.
you sell
That
that as
language
like
is weird, man.
I guess,
Took
yeah, sure, but
advantage of it.
I'm trying to explain it to you in a way because you approach everything ideologically, right? Like you came at it like you
No,
were so
but
shocked that
it's
my parents didn't pay for my medical bills,
oh man,
but it's not like it was an ideological thing. It's just they didn't have to because I had the money to do it myself.
that's you got it.
Now,
Oh.
if
All
I
right, all right. I'm
didn't,
gonna
as
change
their
the subject
son, if
briefly
I was in a position where I did not have that, then absolutely they would have. I have no doubt in my mind they would have. They're my parents. Just like I would
all
have did
right,
it for them.
all
If
right,
they get old and they don't have anything, I'll do it for them. If you got it, you give it to the
all
people.
right. So how
That's
often have you spoken to people not born in America?
what do you mean?
How often have you spoken to people, especially at length, to people who were not born in America?
Um, I don't know, a little
Okay,
bit. I guess I don't really
little.
like.
You
Don't
don't
go to that.
calculate.
Well, I
Okay,
don't. Yeah, I don't calculate.
because I'm from New York City and I do that. I mean, that's routine.
Okay.
You know. So if you told them that story, I think they would have like they would flinch. It's like, what? You didn't
Well,
you
yeah, if you
had your
told my
chance,
grandma that story that came from Italy 50,
but she
75
lived in
years ago, she
America.
would have flinched
She
too. Yeah, that's the
well, yeah,
point. That's
okay,
called
yeah. She would have.
assimilation, and you come along with it, and like you just said, you live in America for a little while, you get used to the way we do things here, and then the opportunities that you maybe didn't have in the old
Yeah,
country, as we
man.
Italians used to say, come along, and you realize that it's maybe not that big of a deal anymore. Now,
I
again, that's not to say that there may not be situations arise where you do have to fall back on that. But again, you immediately jump to like it was a thing where my parents didn't want to, or like they wouldn't have done it, or I would have been
I don't
hung
get
out
the
to dry.
impulse to not go. Well, we got to pay for his treatment. We have to
Huh?
right now. We have. I don't get the impulse of them not going. Oh, we're paying. It's the thing where it's like we're like it would the debate in most cultures I think would
They
be
would have if they would have assumed like if
no, but
again
the debate would be they want to pay for your treatment, and you're like, no, I got it, mom and dad. The fact that thing conversation didn't happen to me in my culture, it is like saying you guys are cannibals, or at least you do incest or something like that.
I don't know.
I'm
Again,
not
I
saying
think it's
you're
more
wrong
of a
either. Cause
it's more of a it's a different perspective, man, because it's a
I know, and that's
if
fine.
my
It's
I
just
don't know. I see because for
instances.
me, I don't know necessarily that I would have liked my mom or dad parading in on me unless I asked for it. You know,
Which is just
taking
is
over my
interesting.
power of attorney and all this other kind of thing. I don't know
Well,
if I
because
would have necessarily really liked that.
now, to be fair, it's interesting because there's the other extreme would be, I mean, arranged marriage is the classic one in other cultures. Um, I mean, if you really want to go far, you get like the Taliban, like
So
real
you look at where
tribal
you're going.
cultures.
So you look where you got to go.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, man.
No,
Like I don't understand.
I'm just talking pure cultural differences between cultures that like one culture will do something that another culture will go, wait, what, what, you know,
Okay,
and that to me is interesting. But again, I don't, I mean, that is the liberal view, which I hold. Is like I also wouldn't. like Saudi Arabia cuts people's heads off. I think it's rare, but now what gets interesting is can someone from Saudi Arabia be friends with an American like that? You
Why
know?
not? Why not?
Oh, I think they can be. It is an interesting gap though that an American and a Saudi would have to work through. You know,
Yeah, we don't cut people's
um,
heads off here.
we don't know. We don't. I mean, I know in certain Muslim cultures, and this is not all Muslims, by the way. I know, but that is true. I know liberals, like right wing liberals, hate when people say that, but not every Islamic society is the same way. Like, yes, some of them stone women,
Oh,
some don't. The question would be like, what is the relationship between a liberal country and like a country that does that? You know, like what would that relationship even be?
I missed like half of what you said. My phone cut out.
That's
I'm way in
it's
the.
the philosophical question I have would be what should the relationship be between like a Western liberal country and like Afghanistan or Saudi Arabia? Like, what's the proper relationship? You know?
What do you mean? There's nothing. We can be friends. Again, you're talking about stuff like you keep bringing up the immigration issue. The whole issue is the issue of assimilation, right? Immigration, anybody can come here, but we've had many conversations about it. You got to buy into the culture, right? You can't.
Yeah, but liberal. I'm going to put on my left liberal hat, and I would argue doing that goes against liberalism.
And I don't agree with that.
Why not?
Huh? Like
Why
I don't
not?
agree that it goes against it. You
Oh,
came
it's
here.
because you're
You
telling
wanted
someone
it. It's like okay, it's the equivalent of you going into somebody's house and then saying, "Oh no, this is my house now. We're going to change everything that you do around here." Like
So again, I'm arguing this as a left liberal. I'm not saying I agree with this. I'm just trying to drive debate. Someone like Mehdi Hassan would say, "Well, he's interesting. This is where left liberals are interesting because they kind of there's two ways they
they
approach
fib is what
immigration.
they do. They fib.
Well, all right, that's too fucking simple. It's not. They don't fib exactly.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
See this. It's the chud coming out. Oh, the chud. Oh.
Every kind of like you can't get it by me. I'm just saying. I
No,
am
I know, but
Italian.
that's
My
the
family's
Reagan
Italian. My
attitude.
grandma's off the boat. Like there's no way. Like,
It's the so all right.
huh?
Anyway, a left liberal would make either two cases. One case is that immigrants to the West do assimilate, not to the extent maybe conservatives want, but they do assimilate. That's one claim. The other claim is they don't have to. So, and I don't watch enough Mehdi Hassan to figure out what claim he does make, but there is an argument that telling immigrants to totally assimilate to American culture goes against the liberal value of freedom.
No,
So,
I mean there's limits, dude. There's
but
limits
where's
to
the
stuff,
limit?
right?
What's the limit?
You're allowed to keep certain aspects. Like, okay, Italians, for example, we came over here. I keep going back to that because that's what I am. That's what my family is. We we influenced a lot of things. You're allowed to leave your mark on it. You just can't be nuts. If you come over, like
Well, how do you define nuts?
I don't know, man. The simplest way I can put it, in the context of like the Muslims, right? I have no problem. There's a huge Muslim population in Michigan. There's a lot of them that work with me. I work with them. I have no issues with them, man. Like they're normal people, right? They're just
Okay.
Muslim, and I'm fine with it. I'm not one of the people that, oh man, the Muslim call to prayer, all this other stuff. But when you get into the more extremist side of it, violence, and you do
Right.
see some of it, you can't do that, and you can't do that if you're an American person either. Follow our laws, and you're fine.
See
I
that, and
mean, I
that
don't
makes
think this.
sense. Because
I
that's
don't think
I
that's
guess
that hard, right? Follow.
the issue would be, the interesting thing about is the Muslim prayer thing. That is interesting because a conservative would say you can't do it because it's America. You can't do that here.
What?
The Muslim call to prayer.
Why? I mean,
A
I never
conservative.
even like. So okay,
It,
first of all, to be
yeah,
completely honest with you, like I've seen a lot of people make that argument online, but I've been in Michigan, and they say that happens in Michigan. I live in Michigan. I've never heard it happen.
I know. No, I know.
Maybe it does, but I've never.
It's a philosophical question. It's because their argument would be it disrupts the public order. Basically, it's an assertion of
Okay, but
yeah.
my point is that I don't think it's actually a problem. I think it's more of a big
I
internet
agree.
created problem.
I agree.
So that would be the first thing I would say. Secondly, if it does, I guess it depends on how obnoxious it is, because
Yes,
like if you're,
the claim would be that it's very
Catholic
effective.
churches ring bells on
Right.
Sundays, and most people don't care about it. But that's
Right.
just a couple bell rings. You know,
Right.
if it's like this every hour thing, then maybe we got an issue. It depends.
All right.
There's some weight into it, and then maybe we got to vote on it, and we'll see where it goes. But
Right.
again, I just don't think that that's as big of an issue as people make it out to be. Because
I
I see all
agree.
the time online that that's supposed to be happening in my state, and I can't ever remember a time.
And you know what's interesting? Again, I guess it gets into what I said yesterday, which is the unique geography of America, which is fucking massive. Like, it's it's interesting. It just that affects everything, but especially that where it's like, I mean, it's the liberal meme that gets the right wing people make fun of, but it is like, how does this affect you personally? And this, it's true. Especially in America, where it's like how many people who complain about Dearborn have been to Dearborn? You know?
I've been to Dearborn a bunch of times.
Okay.
And I've never really had an issue with it. There's a lot
So
of
even
Muslim people
there,
down
it's
there,
like
but like,
at least
I
you've
mean,
been there. How many people who complain about like Laura Loomer? When has she been to Dearborn? Like,
well, that's the whole thing, and I agree with that. But the left does that too. They complain about Tennessee and all the other places and Alabama, and
they do, yes.
but that's the whole thing. It's like,
Well,
you know,
to kind of get back to the original topic of cultural differences, that is something my side really. I mean, I argue. I've said it before. I've become quite. I've become quite close with someone from the South who is a believer in the Confederacy, as in he accepts that as lineage, and that's its own thing and whatever. But what's interesting, if I said that in New York City, that's where I would get actually canceled. I suspect.
canceled.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've had people. I was at a. I'm not even kidding. This was lesbian poetry night. Long story of how I was ended up there. Not too long, but I was there, and I came out as a Trump voter to someone who she said, and this is where, well, she said, I wish I could re-educate the South, and I was like, oh, well, and it came out that I said I voted for the guy, and she just was like, I'm gonna walk away now because I don't feel safe, and she walked away, and it's like, wow. So liberals really, the point being, there isn't there is a thing in the liberal mind, and this is why they get called communists. They do want to erase wrong thought in a way that the right just doesn't. You know, even the worst parts of the right, I don't think have that interest in destroying wrong thought. Um,
Oh yeah, I
so
don't know. I'm
um,
a don't bother me, I won't bother you kind of person.
and
You
that's
know,
America. Yet that's traditionally what American conservatism is. It's become, yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, well, it's tough because I know left liberals will go like, you know, like how would a lot of it's the renegotiation of the Civil Rights Act, basically. That for a lot of right wing people is the breaking point. So,
what
in the interest of that, huh?
the what did you say?
Civil rights movement. That's the breaking point that a
Why
lot of
that?
conservatives.
See, that's another thing everybody does on big internet is they just pick like these arbitrary time points depending on
Oh,
what
but
political priors they have.
it's not because, and this is all right. It is another issue. I have a big internet theory, which I don't think I've expressed on the podcast before, but I've expressed it in the chat numerous times, which is that I think in my view, it's a cop out to avoid dealing with really tough questions, such as how should we have handled segregation? You
I
know,
don't think I think we handle it the right way. I
what do
do.
you mean?
I think I mean I think it worked out fine.
You sure about that?
I do. At least up until 2012 we did.
So, well,
Until big internet came along and everybody got hyper political.
so why did it work from 16 six seven it's not 17 either, 1968 to
I wouldn't say exactly 1968. It took a little bit for people to really get over it. I'll say we'll peg it. And again, this is me picking arbitrary time.
yeah.
We'll peg it because everybody picks an arbitrary time frame. We'll peg it at 1980 until about
Okay.
2012.
Actually, you know what? No, there's an interesting. Again, I've been reading a lot of this white national stuff. So the date I've actually picked that was interesting um, is when Ronald Reagan comes up with Martin Luther King Day, or when he passes it or he advocates for it.
Yeah.
And that's, I want to say that's in 1983.
Okay. So yeah, 1983. Okay, we'll go with that.
But that's the cutoff point, is when the debate is shut down on whether or not MLK is a hero or a villain in a way. Because for a lot of Southern right wingers, he's a villain. Um, so, but anyway, so okay. Do you know how segregation was defeated?
What do you mean?
How was segregation defeated in America?
Like, what do you mean how?
How? How was it done?
Like, I explain what you mean when you're asking me how.
How?
I
What
feel
was the
like the
process
segregation,
like?
it was still, it's, you're getting into like lost causism. Like I'm a
We
northerner.
have to, because that's
I've
what.
never believed in that. I thought they were wrong from the start of the Civil War, and I
Right.
never had an issue with it.
Okay.
But
So
when you have deep, like you talk about certain people, like I'm about to say something that'll probably is going to sound harsh, but there's certain things that get ingrained in certain people, and sometimes you just don't get over it, and everybody's got them, whether it be these
yeah,
type of things, these
true.
bad ideas, and unfortunately, like sometimes you just gotta hang tight and hold your ropes until a percentage of the people who just for whatever reason have a certain blockage there, they finish out their life cycles, and then we can move on completely from it. you
So
know
now this is where the left comes in, and they'll claim, rightfully or wrongly, I think the claim is interesting, that the South actually never went through that, and that the South is just as racist as it was.
no, I don't see that part. I don't believe
Okay.
that part. I don't believe. I would say this is my reply to it, and maybe the numbers are higher or lower, but there's probably still some racists in the South, but there's like four of them, and they're in the backwoods of
Okay.
some random state somewhere.
So now let's.
Like I'm talking like the real kind, not like the goofballs online that troll. I'm talking about the real deal, like, and four is a low number probably, but
So
not
what?
they.
Right.
My point is they don't have any kind of real political power or real sway. It's a done thing.
So you feel it's finished?
I do, yeah. As far as a
Now,
real thing, yeah.
can it ever come back?
Maybe not, I don't think here. No, I just
No,
think
well,
we're
not
beyond
in
that here.
America,
Huh?
not in Michigan, in America.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Um.
We had a black president, bro. It's not,
Well,
and he won in a landslide, huh?
A lot of left liberals will say that's what, and I actually don't think that claim is true. But I don't know.
Huh?
A lot of left liberals claim that it's too simplistic for me, but they'll say Obama, by him being black, he broke America. As in, a lot of conservatives just couldn't handle a black president, basically.
I don't buy that, man. Because look how much, look how he won by a massive landslide in '08. He may have broke America, or I don't know. I don't want to use the word broke. We'll say set back. We'll see.
Okay.
He set back race relationships. I feel like.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
of what he did.
I'm gonna argue as a left liberal now. You triggered me. Not really, but I just know because I've been in this world, man, and I know their arguments. What they'll say.
No, he did in '08. I voted for him in 2000. I've told you that before. And I wasn't alone, dude. The dude won 365 electoral votes.
Yes.
Like that's creeping up on a landslide, my dude. So there's no way in hell you can sit there and make the case that America is a quote unquote racist country. That was the proof. Proof is in the pudding, man. He didn't just squeak out of it. He didn't just squeak through and barely cross 270. He won 360. Like landslide, dude. Like it was a big deal. Even in Michigan, man, it was like. I know you're still relatively young, so maybe you don't remember. I know you're 30, but that's still kind of young to remember. But I remember the energy in '08 for Obama, and that was just insane.
I remember.
You could not go anywhere without seeing something Obama. Trump 2016, and I'll say this too, even in 2016, the energy for Trump was sort of like that, but even that wasn't quite up to that. Like that was Obama 8 was a phenom. That's all I can say. Like it was another level. The belief that he had behind, and that's why so many people. What he did in 2012, like he went from the no red states, no blue states, 2008 only United States Obama to hey, if you disagree with some of the things I'm doing politically, it probably means you're a bitter clinging racist. He basically rebranded old school Marxism and created, tied it together with racial politics. That was his pitch.
Now I'm not saying I believe this, but a left liberal would say that I guess they would argue that he was right, basically.
And that's no. See that's when you start getting into segregating people into different camps. You're bringing back segregation now. You're reversing.
But what they would say is that oh man, see, I love this conversation. I love this I guess debate. Because what they'll say is that for white people, any acknowledgement of racism is somehow reverse racism.
What? Say that again.
It's hard. Let me try. I think Luke would probably know a lot about this. In our group chat, who's big into the race issue in America, especially from a more conservative, but liberal conservative Reagan-y way. But he knows a lot more. He does know the more quote unquote woke stuff. But the claim that a lot of left liberals make, and they still make when you press them on it, when you ask them, the argument that they'll give you is that in America, any acknowledgement of America's race issue is reverse racism against white people.
Who says that? Conservatives or liberals?
Left liberals from Ezra Klein, Mehdi Hassan, Ta-Nehisi Coates, obviously.
So you're saying it's got to be you're like the FDR starting line thing? Yeah, okay.
But that's the argument. I'm not saying they're right, but that's the argument they will push. Is that?
And I don't necessarily buy into that because that's like a sins of the father type thing. Like again, Remember when I
Oh,
got into the thing where you got to kind
right,
of wait till people go, nobody, I'll say, I'll just put it out there. Nobody alive today that was born in America was a slave, and nobody
right,
alive today that
right.
on the other side owned slaves. So there's no way, like, or, you know,
Yeah,
it's like a
I
reparations
agree.
thing. It's like, how do you apply that to the people? How do
Right.
you hold them responsible for things that they didn't do?
I
Like,
actually, okay,
or
this is, yeah, no, I
assign.
know. This is where I agree with Ben Shapiro. Like, unironically, I just do. Um,
How do you like? You can't do that. Like,
right,
and even like if you read any of the cases for I would. You know what? To be completely honest with you, if we could, as a collective country, all together, agree that maybe we could come up with some kind of one-time reparation deal, but that was it. You're done.
but and
No
I would
more.
say the
No
civil
more.
rights.
I
Here's the
would
thing.
probably support it, but I guarantee you that even if we did do that, even if it was a big like a
No.
payout or something, it
Yeah.
would come back in a couple of years. It's a currency for
Eh,
people who want to make political
Right.
hay at this point. And I'm sorry to have to put it that way,
No,
but
I know.
and
I
and
agree.
and I'm sure that there are, again, this is not to say that there aren't racists anymore, but again, there's like five of them, or some asshole online being an asshole online. They don't have any real political sway anymore. They don't have any. You run around trying to preach that stuff, you're gonna get
Right.
you're gonna get torn to shreds in a heartbeat, and most people do, and rightfully so, and rightfully
Right.
so. You know, like,
Right. What was I gonna say? And to be fair, too, I would argue the civil rights. Well, and this is Chris Caldwell's book, which I is an amazing. At least the intro is amazing. In the first few chapters, which Charlie Kirk really loved, by the way. Age of Entitlement, which gets into how the reason the Civil Rights Act was passed was as reparations. Like that was the reparations. Like that was it. you know? Like that is why the center of the country has MLK on a
yeah, and
pedestal.
a lot of people, you look at all the people, that supported it. Like
Right.
I'm Catholic, you're Catholic. We marched with them for that.
Right. So well, and
I
this
was
is
on the side.
why.
Like I
Huh?
got no beefs with people.
Right.
I
This
don't.
yo, keep going.
I got no beefs with peeps. That's all I can say, man.
Right.
Because me personally, I've talked
Yeah.
about it even in the chat. I've dated extensively, non-discriminately. You know what I mean?
Well, and this is also why I do find Matt Walsh's documentary series distressing, because it is like,
Which
okay, what are you doing?
which one?
The
What one?
newest one with about civil
I don't even
rights.
pay attention to Matt Walsh, man. I never
Oh,
liked
I
him,
know,
so I don't
but
even know.
it's that is where it's like, wait, what are you like? Because again, I can talk to a racialist. I with Walsh, it's like, well, why are you saying what the racialists say? I understand why, like a
He's big
Jerry
internet,
Springer,
dude.
you
He's
know.
big internet.
Yeah, I mean that's where
Big
I think the
internet.
accusation fit, but I don't know. I mean, it might be deeper than that, you know.
I think. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not. I don't pretend. I just think that some people are ding dongs, big
Right.
internet ding dongs.
Because the reason the civil rights issue, again, it's twofold. Is this? I mean, it's again, it's a very interesting dilemma. Because one of the dilemmas that it creates, and this is why Caldwell wrote his book, or at least that part of the book, is that the Civil Rights Act does override the Constitution. And I
What do you
know
mean?
liberals.
What
Well,
does that mean? It over?
so the biggest one, obviously, is freedom of association. That's an override. It just, I
What do you
think,
mean?
huh?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on. My phone's fucking up.
yeah.
What did you say?
Well, I have to start a new space just to because I think we're at 30 minutes, but we'll do another 30 minutes and then that's it, and that'll be our episode 3. But just to get this out before I forget it, this uh, conservatives will say, and look, Barry Goldwater, this was his argument in '64 and beyond, really, was that the Civil Rights Act, it the biggest thing it breaks is the freedom of association, basically.
Why?
As in, if you, I mean, simply put, if you have a store, it is your store, and you can say, I only want to serve white people. If you break that, that's morally, you can make a moral argument for that, but at least Chris Caldwell's argument is it just doesn't fit with the Constitution as it was written. It just doesn't. And he writes about it in like a regretful tone in a way. Like he's not I think he's like center right basically. He's just honest about it where it's like, yeah, it just overrides a lot of constitutional values, the biggest one being that where it's like you can't have a store where and when that became an issue with the cake thing. Remember that with the gay people?
Yeah.
Which I think that got overridden. I think it what happened with that? Do you remember?
Yeah. Hey, let's start another
Yeah.
space. Go check the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. Bye bye.
All right.
Alrighty. Are they all right, Justin? Are they still there?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Justin's gonna have to be a little quiet, unless he can whisper into his phone. But otherwise,
Hold
he
on a
has
second.
been.
They're walking away.
They're walking away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
2 more minutes.
Justin has been. He has been put in the presence of a lesbian couple with
I
a.
actually need to update that. I don't think that's true anymore.
So who? Okay, so what's going on,
They
Justin?
might be
Tell us what's going on.
they might be sisters, but they're gone.
Okay. How do you
Oh
know?
man, I dropped because I overheard the conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you never know. They could be like sisters, but also wife and
Yeah,
wife.
the
You
one
know,
looked really pretty different. The other one was a purple hair though.
oh wow. Okay, so that's very fortuitous
Well,
because
that just goes to show you, man. All your caricatures of Michigan as this podunk redneck state. It is not
no,
true.
it's not. That is a caricature that I can admit is a caricature. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we are a very down the center, sir.
No, it's interesting.
Straight
That's
down the
interesting.
center.
You know, so the reason it's interesting that you happen upon them, let's assume they are a lesbian couple. The reason that even exists is the Civil Rights Act, and that is admittedly, I mean, I guess that's the claim they always made. The LGBTQ community was that this is a civil rights issue.
So here's my thing, man.
Okay.
I'm a don't ask, don't tell. What happens in your bedroom is not my business type of person.
Right.
They
Right.
won the argument with that, but then, as we've discussed multiple
Yeah.
times, that was
Yeah.
like 2008 ish.
Yeah.
They won the argument there, and then they wanted to go further.
On the
They want
basis of civil rights, by the
to,
way.
no, because now you're intruding on someone else's civil rights. The second you want to you
Ah.
want to start imposing your views on, like it went from what happens in my bedroom is my business to actually I want to read stories to your kids really
Now,
quickly.
what issue does that sound exactly like?
Huh?
What issue does that sound exactly like in terms of trajectory?
What issue?
The black issue, where it
Well,
goes from equality to equity.
that's why I said I would be in favor of some kind of reparations if we could guarantee that that's where it was going to stop and everyone would be happy after that.
And if if you're a
But I
conservative,
just like what I said about that issue is that I just
right,
highly doubt that that's where it would stop.
it would
It's
never.
a currency. It's a
Yes,
currency.
yes, and that is, and the reason any conservative who would vote for that is just hurting themselves because that's exactly what the Civil Rights Act was. It was literally, and Chris Caldwell's book gets
No, no,
into
no, no, no,
what,
no, no.
what?
That doesn't because they actually had a point then, you know.
No, no, but that's what I'm saying. The CRA was the reparations.
Oh, well, kind of, maybe a little bit.
Why
Except there
wouldn't it
is a
have
little
been?
bit of, you know, huh?
Why wouldn't have that been the reparations?
There is some truth to the starting line argument, I guess, a little bit. But
Okay,
again, like so much, that's not maybe back then, but now, just like you were just harping on me about how my parents didn't pay for my medical bills and all that stuff,
right.
that's not so true anymore.
Yeah, no, and yeah, yeah, that's a good point. It's just the reason the CRA is fascinating is because it is the basis for, I would say, the entire modern liberal project. You know,
Yeah, because that's what their politics is based upon. They've been trying to find their new civil rights movement forever, and they don't,
right?
what's it going to be? Is it going to be the third world? Is it going to
It is,
be
no, it is a third world. Yeah, it
the
is. It's
trannies? Is
yep,
it going to be
yes,
that's where the omnicost comes from?
yes, it is.
Yep.
Now here's the problem, though. One, and I know you do reject the arguments, and I get that, but one, I mean, Walsh would argue, and I think he's really leaning into this now. I think I haven't watched the documentary, to be honest. I don't even want to. I don't, but I'm guessing his argument is that the omni cause is the inevitable result of the CRA. To him, they're one and the same.
No, no, no.
Okay.
That's the omnicause is a result of a political party that doesn't have it doesn't have the ability because it's not based on the ability to just quote unquote be happy and live your life.
I
You know,
agree,
there's
and I'll
always got to be
right,
it's always got to be bad. You know,
and I'll add this,
the old
and
meme.
Nina's
You know, back in the day, there used to be when conservatives first started memeing, if you will.
yeah,
And like when conservatives first started kind of to be cool, when Obama started to not be cool anymore.
yeah.
One of the famous conservative memes I used to share the hell out of was it said, "Annoy a liberal, be happy, have fun, live your life." That's what that was.
Well, that's all right. Just really quickly, Nina is spamming the thing. She wants us to acknowledge her. We will. Hello, Nina. We see you
Make her a
spamming.
speaker. Nina should talk.
Ah, fuck. All right, hold on. But she's gonna derail the fucking. All right, Nina can say hello if she wants.
Make Alan a speaker too. I need to follow Alan. I'm
What?
following
All
Alan.
right, then if we're gonna do that, no, no, no. All right, everyone, fucking wait. We'll conclude that because I am.
Well, I mean, if you want to keep talking, if you want to
No,
use
we're
this for your
going to.
podcast, we can do
I'm
it.
gonna wrap it up. We're gonna. This is the audience section now. We're gonna engage with our audience, our
Yeah, we're building an
fans.
audience. See what happens when you bring me on board? You get an audience.
Yeah.
What is? Let's give it a start. What Alan doesn't
so
like me, he didn't follow me back.
so
Who is Alan, by the way?
I'll tell you in a minute. I just want to wrap up the whatever point I was just making, which I do easily forget, which is so what you just said, that is right wing liberalism. It's like, yeah, go live your life. Just stop.
Go
No
live your fucking
complaining.
life, man. Here,
Right,
I'm
okay.
sitting right here on a beautiful river right
Right,
now. I actually haven't seen a goddamn trout rise at all. There's a bunch of
right,
bugs, but
right.
I ain't seen a single trout rise. It's so deep too, man. I almost fell
Oh
in
boy.
trying to get in the water.
Well, that'd be a funny way for the podcast to end, is you just fucking die. and you drowned.
No, I don't think I would die. I
You,
call
you
it a hat
know
dunker. That's the trout fishing term. If you
what's the term?
sink, hat dunker, because
Okay.
you slip and fall and bust your ass, and your waders fill, and you
Okay.
dunk your hat underwater for a minute.
Okay.
But it's a freaking beautiful night, man. I'm gonna probably sit out here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You know,
So
well, there's a
yeah,
hatch going on. There's like, I wish I could like take a video and show you like just the experience of being on a trout river. Like,
you obviously can once we get off air. You could absolutely do that.
no, it's I can't get the bugs on my video though. They're a little, there's like a big
Oh.
hatch going on, so there's like a ton of little caddis flies hatching.
Oh.
Like if you were here, it's literally like right out of a damn Ernest Hemingway novel.
Right.
But I haven't
Right.
seen any trout rise. That's the only thing.
All right. Yeah. I am doing that. I'm just asking questions, meme. But yeah. I guess we could probably put a pin on that, the civil rights, because I think it's again, it's the foundation, and so you do reject the idea, the Matt Walsh thing of like it's inevitable that the Omni cause comes from the
No,
civil
no,
rights.
I reject. Okay, it's not a Matt. Like, no, I mean, I
Okay.
guess like if you're but Matt Walsh again, we talked about his theology before. It's like it's bordering on like a total depravity. Like you have to
Yes.
assume that
Yes.
to get to Matt Walsh's position, basically, you have to assume that people just can't be possible. It's not possible for people to just kind of like find a happy medium, right? Like
Oh yeah. No,
you
I know.
know, like
Um.
there's
Well, he would
like he's
say,
he's
yeah.
basing it on the assumption that people are going to use it as a currency, which
Yeah.
again there is a just like my argument that I always argue about the idea of quote unquote toxic empathy.
Yes.
Like that whole thing is based on the idea of people, people being totally depraved. They're going to abuse the shit out of it, and
Right.
therefore you can put a qualifier on something like empathy. I don't subscribe to that. I
I
do
don't either.
think that you are able to find some sort of internal happiness, or at least mildly so, to get you through, so to speak. And there are certain things out there in the world that are just plain out not fair that we should rectify, which the civil rights issue at that time period, right?
Right.
Actual laws that discriminated based on immutable characteristics, that was a bad thing. We should have
Right.
corrected that.
Okay.
Anything that comes after that is questionable, right?
Right.
Do we maybe need to, just like I said, I might be able to warm to the idea of some sort of one-time reparations if there can be a guarantee that what is this, no double jeopardy, it can never be brought up again type of
Right.
ooh. Oh damn, I thought I had a fish. Thought I had
Oh
a
no,
fish.
fish. It went away. It
A
hurt. It heard
snag.
you were saying some racist shit, and it went away.
I was saying some racist shit.
Yeah, it says I don't want to be eaten by this guy.
Huh?
I don't want to be eaten by a racist. That's what the fish said.
No, it wasn't a fish, it was a snag. I'm fishing
Um,
a caddis nymph under a indicator.
right,
So like the current's carrying my indicator, and I gotta watch the indicator. It's like a bobber, basically,
right,
fancy bobber, but it's moving. So anytime the indicator ducks under the water, you might have a strike. But also because it's in current, if you get caught on the bottom, that'll dunk your indicator. So I thought I had
right,
a fish, and I
right,
got all excited, but it was actually just I got stuck on something.
right. All right, all right. So that's the civil. Just the one last point I wanted to mention that was important is the reason why Obama. I think I might have mentioned this episode one, but the reason why Obama went full in on the Omni cause, it was to screw people like me who are like open to economic left wing stuff. It was the way to placate the base. Basically, it's like, all right, we're not going to give you.
Yeah, because the base, again,
Yeah.
the base needed their what do you call it? They couldn't find the happiness in it.
Well, yeah, yeah. I guess that could be it. Yeah, it's also like there is, and I've talked about this, and Lincoln totally gets this. How there is a lot of Democrats are like they have basically your position in economics, but they're liberals, as in they want black lesbian CEOs, basically. Like that's their position.
Okay, so like I wouldn't care if a CEO is black or lesbian as long
Well,
as she's a good
that's
CEO.
that's why you get along with Dugan, I guess. Is
I wouldn't care. I had a
yeah,
boss. I told you the story about her, one of my
yeah,
old
you did.
bosses, and she was the best boss I ever had. I had no idea she
Right,
played for the other team, but I
right,
was close with her, and she knew I worked. Like at that time, I did a lot of side work for people fixing cars and stuff.
right,
And she asked me. She said she was going out of town, but she asked me to fix an air conditioner. She had a Chrysler 200. So
right.
I said, okay, yeah, drop it off at my house. I'll
And
fix it over the
yeah,
weekend, and you can pick it up. But then when she showed up, she was with a lady,
right,
and that's when I knew that, because they were on each other. I'm like, well, damn, Joan. Her name was Joan. I didn't
right.
know, but now I do. But before that, and it didn't change anything between us. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you're that type of person, I got no beef with you,
Oh
man. I'll
yeah,
fix your car. I got, but if you're somebody who is like,
yeah. Because well, you know what the Obama liberals ended up doing was when you just said, as long as they're good, a good CEO, they would go, what do you mean good? I mean, they're all good. What are you talking about?
oh, Paul, they're rising. I just seen a trout. Well, yeah, I know, and that's stupid.
Yeah.
You should
I
know
know.
what I mean
It's
by a
just
good.
funny. It's like it degenerated into that, where it's like,
And that's
and
why
that
it's
is,
a race to the bottom, and that's why so much
I
of the big
know.
internet conversation about it is so stupid. Like that's why it drives me nuts because we had it right. We had it right in 2008.
Yeah.
That's fine. They won that argument, and then they took. What is the old inch? What is the old saying? Give an inch,
Took the
they take a
inch. Yeah.
mile. They took the mile, and now you're getting the backlash to the mile.
I know.
But we're all
No, it's
doing stupid
funny.
crap.
And that's look, that's why I voted for Trump that last time. It is there's just some very funny, and I don't know if you've dealt with that. I mean, ever where you have someone who believes in it fully, where they are like
I mean,
they'll
those people pop up all over the place. But again, those people, there's a bunch of them that throw all the buzzwords out in corporate
right.
meetings and stuff that I run into. But
Oh
I just
man.
don't think that that's going to be the future, man. I
Oh,
really just don't.
that's not the future. The only way it becomes the future, but no, it won't be the future because the thing is, and this is something I guess maybe right wing conservative people don't know, is they are that is in tension with socialism. Like these people don't want fucking socialism. They want the rich lesbian CEOs. That's not socialist.
Again, I don't have a problem with rich lesbian CEOs as long as they're
But they
good
have to
CEOs.
earn.
As
But
long as
then
I can
but
work for
then
your this is my
they'll
thing. As long as I
right.
can work for your company under you as a CEO and I make money and you make money and I get to go trout fishing and you don't ask to read stories to my kids and you just
Oh
sign my
no,
paycheck and lead my company to greatness and our maybe I'm the line goes up Republican. Maybe I
that no,
am,
but
but
what's interesting,
as long
and this is where it gets funny with them, is you can tell them that it's like, hey, you guys agree on a lot of stuff, but they'll go, no, 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 no. Every black woman has earned the right to be a rich
see those, but
CEO. Those are
and you
fun.
should look into Dugan more, man, because he threw a couple of them out of the
No, I know
Detroit
he
City
did.
Council.
I know. It's just interesting. It's just funny because you would. It's just, and that is, oh man. Because a lot, you have to understand, and I pitched this before. I don't think I pitched it on air. So Nina left, so we're gonna close with this. Um, it is the reason why big internet took over is basically from 2012 to 2020, the liberalism, there was a split in the liberal tradition. I don't know if it's permanent. It might come back, but for now it's still broken. Where there's some hints that some maybe it comes back, like after Charlie Kirk was killed, Ezra Klein and and Ben Shapiro did a podcast together for like 2 hours. So that was really
Mm.
good. But there is, in those 8 years, and again, you've already said why that split happened, but there was a split between right liberals and left liberals. And that left the door open to what you call big internet, where it's Hassan Piker, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, I guess that's kind of the big three, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking idiots.
but but that split
Paul,
happens.
Paul. Oh my God! I just saw the biggest. They're rising now. They're rising,
All
baby.
right,
Paul. I wish you were here with me, man. See, if you
I do
came here,
too.
you touchgrass totalitarianism would make
I
all the
know.
sense in the world to you.
No, no, I totally get. It's not like I've never felt that impulse before. Of like, you know what it is? It's like a dog. Like, you know, a dog.
The
Like,
dog.
it's like a dog will just be happy, just thinking nothing. They're just in the moment. Like, I
That was
get
a
it.
big fish. That was a big. I don't know how I'd make that cast. It was on the far side of the river. Like
Right.
that's the thing with fly fishing.
Yeah.
Like that's why I hate on the bait caster, bro. It's like we'll finish with this. Speaking of Matt Walsh,
Yes.
Matt Walsh is a bait caster, bro. Straight up bait caster, bro. Like you
So,
just chuck, you got 15
oh,
pound braid. I used to be a bait caster, bro. But you
okay.
just got 15-pound line. You cast your line out there and run these big fat lures with treble hooks on it. But when you're a fly fisherman, you got to read the water, right? So I'm out here, like there's seams on the current, and I see all these bugs, right? And like you can fish for trout under the water with nymphs or floating on top of the water with dry flies, right? So when there's a hatch going on, which has been a hatch going, the blue winged olive hatch has been going on since I got here, but I haven't seen any trout rising where you'll see like just the head come up and eat the bug off the top of the water.
Uh huh.
That's when you want to fish with dry flies, right? But you got to get the drift, right? So you got to make the cast. Like a trout will sit on a certain part of the river and then just wait, and then when a bug floats by, he'll rise and grab him. He'll never move too far, maybe a foot to the left or the right, but he'll never go. He won't chase a lure. You won't chase like that's why bait caster bros don't catch him because you're running lures through there. They're not. He's not going to chase it like a bass will. You got to present it to him. So when you cast, you got to be accurate and light. Can't spook him. And that's why,
Okay.
like I said, make the cast where I'm standing. That big trout I just seen rise like across the river on the far side by the bend. So like to make that cast, I'd have to wade out around the corner and get like a little bit in front of them. And then you can't like when you cast, you can't have your line put a drag on the fly. It's got to float naturally, so you got to mend your line. But that was anyway. I'm off on a tangent, but that was a big
So
fish,
what's wrong with
big one.
bait casting?
Nothing's wrong with bait casting.
But what
It's just it's low church Protestantism compared to high church fly
right.
fishing.
So are you
That's
saying
what it is.
it's easier in a way that's like cheating?
Uh, I don't know if I'd use that term. Easier.
Because it sound the what you're accusing Walsh of, it sounds like he's cheating. Like you're
Okay.
saying he's like a
I
poser.
like bait. Oh, let me explain. I like bait. I still bait cast. My dad never
Okay.
really got into fly fishing. My
Okay.
dad's much more of like a spin caster, bait caster type. So I'll go with him, and I'll still do it. But the brand, the true spirit of the thing, if you will.
Okay.
What is my favorite word? The thymos, the
Right.
vitality of it is the fly fishing.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
it's raw. It's like the equivalent of rifle hunting versus bow hunting. Bow
Okay,
hunting
that's
is
a lot.
is
I actually get that. Okay, I actually really. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like it
it's
sounds like that's it's like an accusation of like you're a kind of a poser, Matt.
a little bit. He is
Okay,
a
that's
little bit.
interesting.
And I don't hate him. Like I was a bait caster bro for
Right.
many years, man. But once I learned how to fly fish, I never
All right.
turned back because this is just way more in the vein of like just the whole package, right? Where
Right.
you go, the places you see. It's in that vein that he wants to be.
Right.
You ought to be fly. You ought to be tying your own flies. You ought to be doing the nine. Tucker Carlson's actually closer to that. But Tucker Carlson, that's kind of what I was getting at today in the chat, where I was like, I'm so disappointed that the one person that kind of knows at least what this is about, because Tucker Carlson fly fishes, but
He does. Yeah.
he just,
Well,
I don't know. He's a different breed. But it's sad that he's the mouthpiece of this.
of
Now.
what? Of fly fishing?
Of just like his arguments. Like if you, I don't know if you listened to Shapiro's show today, but like
Tell me.
some of the
I'm
stuff where
curious.
he's having Tucker Carlson as the mouthpiece of like some of the more pump the brakes on the data centers. Let's think about the environmental
Well,
concerns type thing and the beauty of it. Like some of the arguments, I guess what I'm getting at is like some of the stuff Tucker Carlson says. Like if you rewind it back to the first interview Shapiro and Tucker did together, it
yeah.
was like on the Sunday special.
Yes.
I actually quite agreed with some of the points Tucker was making. It's just the route he's taking to. It's like, okay, think of Pat Buchanan.
Well, I was about to.
Buchanan.
Yeah, they're the same lineage of. I mean, I was just looking at the magazine today.
Yeah, but look at what they both did. They both went down a retarded. My point is, there's ways to make the arguments that he's making without doing it the way that he's doing it, and by doing it the way that he's doing it, you're doing a disservice to the people who actually do care about this kind of stuff.
Okay, well,
you know what I'm
saying? What error is he making in his arguments? Same with Pat Buchanan. What's the error exactly?
Like what's the deal with the Jews, man? Like if you don't like the data centers, just say you don't like the data. And even Tucker was like, some of the clips Shapiro played on his show that I have Tucker, he's like, where's the environmental organizations? Where are they talking about these data centers? What the fuck are you talking about? We're screaming to high heaven over here. At least in Michigan we are. Like talk about the water usage. Talk about the electricity bills that go up. Talk about how these things suck up a zillion billion acres, but you spend all your time talking about Israel. What's the problem here? Like, what are you doing?
So say that last sentence again.
Huh?
Say that last two sentences again.
No, I said you could, if you don't like the data centers, which I don't necessarily like. I understand that obviously they're the future. We're going to need them, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Okay.
So his argument with Israel is it's its own omni cause, which is this idea.
Yeah, it's a stupid thing. It's a stupid. It's a stupid thing.
His argument.
It's a big internet thing. It's a thing that attracts the clicks from the young people.
Internet, because it's the same debate. I mean, that's like it's a fucking issue, bro. It's like
it's the omni cause, my man. You gotta throw it all in there.
That's not big internet.
Throw it all in the big internet pot and stir it up.
Because that we had that in the 40s, in the 30s. We already had that. And I know your argument. See, here's the fucking thing. Because it's because we haven't talked about this on air actually. So I don't think we have. It is I know you believe that if we shut off the internet, people wouldn't find out the old things. But I think that's
what do you mean?
silly.
It's not. You see, you always caricature my position.
Fine. Why? So my question is in as good faith as possible, is why wouldn't someone come to the same conclusions that Tucker Carlson has, which is basically the same conclusion that the American right had before World War II?
So that's the thing. Did you listen to me give that spiel about Tucker, about how I agree with some of the stuff he says, especially regarding the data centers?
There's
certain things that I agree with Tucker Carlson about, but the way that Tucker Carlson takes these ideas and markets himself as an intellectual, you open up the door to allow the people who are fully for this stuff to just simply point and say, this guy's a kook. And anybody who thinks like him is a kook, right? It's again, I told you, if you go back to the original interview him and Shapiro did, I kind of thought the very first interview that Tucker and Shapiro did together, Tucker kind of manhandled him a little bit.
Right.
And I have made the argument before that I think if there's now I kind of think it's over. Shapiro won, but I used to think that there's two competing ideas for the heart of the conservative movement here, and I think Tucker is going to be the biggest challenge for Shapiro, and Shapiro ended up coming out on top. But Shapiro is just he's full bore with the market, right? But the way that Tucker comes at it as someone, if you come at it from, there are actually environmental concerns that go along with this stuff. There are actually stuff that, there is downstream effects. And yes, Ben Shapiro's right when he says that AI is the future and that's our way and we cannot let China get it. That's all true. But also, is it a good idea, especially like what's going on in Michigan, to let them suck up like all this beautiful stuff that I'm standing right in front of right now? This beautiful piece of river, this water, that's like those are the type of things we should be talking about, right? And Shapiro he always says, well, I'm not talking, and he'll even when you listen to him make the argument, he's like, I'm not talking about, he'll use the term common sense legislation. What does that mean, common sense legislation, right? But because Tucker has provided him so many things that are just plain stupid, like the Israel and all the other crap that he's doing,
but
as ammo, he can blurb over the common sense things that are maybe not so common. Maybe we should actually talk about that a little bit more. But because Tucker's out here talking about Israel and the Jews and all this other dumb stuff that he does and just being a ding dong, Shapiro he doesn't have to address that. He doesn't have to. He's not being checked properly. And it's a shame that somebody like Tucker is supposedly the mouthpiece for that side of the argument. And it's just, we got scammed, man. We need a better, and then at the same time, Tucker talks like, oh, where are the environmental organizations? Those are the ones you should actually kind of be listening to if you're someone who cares about that kind of stuff, because they are the ones that are actually making the argument saying, hey, guys, did you ever look at how much water the average data center sucks up, right? And, like just to take an example out of Michigan, that one in Saline, when they first proposed that build out, the build out for that data center, they were talking about the usage rate would be something like 5 million gallons a day. But because of the protests that the people in that area and the conservation organizations in Michigan put up, the resistance to it, they got them to sign up for the 3-stage cooling process and the recyclable, where it'll put it back in, if they suck water out of the lakes, they're going to put it back after they cool it. No environmental issues. And now it's down to something like 500,000 gallons a day. That's what I mean by there's a right and a wrong way to do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like everybody's happy there. There's the middle ground, right? Like you're not, you're gonna use it a little bit, but you're also doing it. You're not half-assing it as fast as you can build it in the cheapest way, but you're also taking into account the environmental concerns of the people, and the people that live there.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
But rather than talking about any of that, Tucker wants to talk about Israel and.
Why do you chafe at talking about Israel?
Huh?
Why do you chafe at the mention of Israel? Like, I don't.
What do you mean chafe? Israel. It's just because most of it's stupid. What's the problem? I don't get it. I don't get the argument, man. I just don't see any there.
So it's Israel's not worth talking about?
What do you want to talk about?
Why do they have so much
that would be my question. What do you want to talk about?
Why do they
what did they do? What did they do today?
They brought. I do think they brought us to war at Iran. We do give them a lot.
Why do you think that? Why can't it just be Iran can't have a nuke?
Well, all right. I guess it's
what
that.
What is it? Is that bad? Should we let Iran have a nuke?
I think it's up for discussion. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even saying like anything. It's just like
I said it from the very beginning, Paul. I said if it comes out, we went to war because all the intelligence said that Iran was pursuing a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
If it comes out, 5-10 years from now that was all a bunch of baloney, and what did they call it in the Bush administration? "Quote unquote" intelligence failures.
Yeah.
then yes, the Trump administration will absolutely rightly be remembered the same way the Bush administration was. But again, that isn't proven yet. There's no evidence to that effect. And the way the negotiations have gone thus far, it points to, yeah, maybe they kind of were trying to get a nuclear weapon.
All right.
Because what other reason do they have for not agreeing to the deals that have been put forward?
It's not a question of Israel. You're kind of making the, which I've heard before, is he's like a, what does Mark Levin call him? Tucker Catarlson?
Catarlson, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually that honestly actually makes more sense then.
I'm just saying, man. You know, like if Tucker is making the case that the government's lying, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And I've heard you say it too, where like, oh yeah, if you think that he was going for a nuke, you're crazy.
Yeah,
There's no evidence of that, and all the evidence points to they were. Now, if it comes out later they weren't, then yeah, we're gonna own that piece.
Okay.
But
the reason,
again, I still,
huh?
No. I still have to stick to the point of, if that wasn't their goal and that's not what they wanted, why haven't they accepted any of the deals that have moved forward? I think up to this point, basically kind of almost at the JCPOA, like, make the deal and give us your nuclear stuff and we'll leave you the hell alone. And we'll bring you back into the world economy. Like, why wouldn't you go for that unless you had like nuclear ambitions?
Well, because they think Israel's trying to conquer them.
Well, see, that's big internet.
How does it make sense? It's just not.
You don't think that if they made that deal that the U.S. would say, don't do that?
No, I think they would absolutely. There's a this, because you got to think of it from the Israeli perspective. This is like a mortal enemy. They did October 7th, basically. Why would Israel ever let Iran slide?
Because we said so.
But there are our friends.
But see, that's where you get into the Israeli. Do you think the Israelis would fight us?
I think they would try to be very persuasive, and I think it would work, because if you hear them out, it makes sense. Is that this is a regime that is the West's mortal enemy.
Who is?
Iran.
I mean, kind of. They have been acting that way.
So, therefore, it's not going to stop at the nuclear weapon. We have to go all the way at some point. Right?
I mean, I don't know.
And that's
the most pragmatic deal maker. Just based on what I've seen him do, you know, I don't think they'll get another chance like this again.
Some happen.
Huh?
I'm on speaker. I'm echoing.
Oh, I took my mic off. That might be why.
All right, one sec. Put your mic back on. Please.
My headphone died. That's why.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that might be a good natural conclusion. All right. Shit. It's like a sudden end. And it's gonna
Alan's bio says that he likes weird and horrific writing.
We'll talk about that next time.
Is he a horror fan?
Yes.
I'm a big horror fan.
Which we'll talk about next time on the podcast. Because I'm already.
Hey, Alan, are you still listening? Put a thumbs up if you listen to the tape library.
Let's see. He clapped.
Does that mean yes? Thumbs up?
I think
yes?
so. Well, anyway, I don't know how this will sound when I edit it, but this is the end.
When did he put? I missed it. I didn't see him. He just put up another one. I didn't see it.
He did. It's the clap.
Oh, thumbs down. He doesn't listen to this.
No, okay. So
tape library. Hey, if you like spooky stuff, I'm telling you, the tape library is where it's at. Look that up on YouTube. The tape library.
And on that note, let me see. Oh, well, whatever. Because I would have my headphones in, but I'm charging my phone too. So Thank you for tuning in.
Alan said, "Stop, stop, stop, bad Paul." I want to know what he said 35 minutes ago. I just seen the comments.
Well, I don't know. Too bad. We'll deal with it later. My phone's dying. I'm dying. We're at the end of our show. Tune in next time.
You got me. Hey, listen, you got me for 3 more days out here in the boonies. As long as
Okay. We'll
see.
see. This is episode 3.
I know you never even put up episode 2.
I gotta do it. I'll do it.
I'm gonna post a picture because I'm gonna try to catch that damn shot I said.
Go catch it. We'll find out if we caught it on the next episode of Hanging Out with D and Justin. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye, Justin. See you. Bye-bye.